what's up everybody? Flashwing here. Oh, this is probably the last beautiful day in Arizona before the summertime hits. Thought I'd get out here and do a little, I would say a quick run around the block, but this is not looking quick at all. So today the topic I wanted to talk to you guys about was the victim mentality that I keep seeing, and how much it drives me crazy, and how much I would love to try and, if I, it's like if I could just change one mind, one perspective, it would be worth it. And what I mean about the victim mentality is this tendency, and I'm gonna say that it's within the United States because I don't know necessarily how this translates, if at all, in other countries or other cultures, but at least in the United States, I continuously run into or know people or see people that engage in like self-victimization, all because they refuse to take any action in their own lives to improve their own standard of living, to improve their social life, to improve their appearance. And hey, I'm a little bit in that category as well. So this is not me getting up on my soapbox necessarily. My job is simply I want to try and call attention to it and help some of you out there who have this mentality or have this habit to try and change it. So where this is all spawning from is the notion that basically people like, there's something in this country, we have like this romantic infatuation with victims and victimization, and where victims are blameless and victims are beyond reproach, and but I'm not talking about victims of crime, or I'm talking about things like, oh geez, like, just like career problems or physical appearance, or stuff with friends. And I mean, it's the kind of stuff that you deal with as an individual. I'm not talking about things that are bigger on a societal level. But as an example, we all want to make more money. It doesn't matter where you are on the scale of, considering yourself successful or unsuccessful, because success can mean so many different things to so many different people. You have to really make that determination. But the point is that we all want to make more money. But I see people out there that are content with just complaining about it. But it's not their fault. Yeah, guy just gave me the nut. But it's not their fault that they don't make more money. It's the rich people. It's the wealthy people, because they don't. Because the wealthy people steal from the poor people, and it's all their fault. Let's talk about weight. People say, oh, I'm fat because of GMOs, or I'm fat because of high fructose corn syrup, or I'm fat because of subliminal advertising, or because of fast food. Fast food makes me fatter. Where this all boils down to, it's this notion that every failure in a person's life is based upon the fault of someone else. It's someone else's fault that they didn't get that job. It's someone else's fault that they're not making the money. It's always somebody else's fault. I'm a big believer of personal responsibility. And by that, what I mean is that I believe that I am responsible for my position in life. That the things that I do, the decisions that I make, the actions that I take or the actions that I don't take, I am responsible. And and it doesn't matter. I mean, we can play the whole, well, what if the world stops game. But the fact of the matter is that at some point along the chain of cause and effect, you did something to put yourself in the situation that you're in right now. And I think that is that's the foundation that needs to be laid Stop being victims of our own lack of success in our own careers. You have to start with the basics, and that is that you, yes you, I'm talking to you out there, that you are responsible for your own life. There are going to be exceptions. There's always going to be exceptions to everything, and you can choose whether or not you want to, you know, wallow in self-pity in those exceptions for the rest of your life, or do something about it. And my intention is to kind of knock you upside the head a little bit and start thinking differently. So you have to start with the basics, and that is, I am responsible for my own life. I am responsible for everything that has happened to me. I am responsible for all of my choices, good or bad. I'm responsible for how I look. I'm responsible for how I feel. I'm responsible for my job, everything. It's all your responsibility. Now you have to evaluate what it is about your own life that you don't like, and then change it. Now, well, Flash, that's easier said than done. Well, welcome to the human race. But the concept is simple. And see, I found that individual and self-responsibility is scary for a lot of people. It was scary for me, because it means that I'm responsible. I can't blame anyone else. It's all on me. But what suddenly happened is it was liberating, because suddenly I realized I'm in control of my own life. Me, no one else. Not some figurative the man out there, not society, not the cops, not my parents, not my boss. I'm in control of my life. So when you start to realize that you alone control your own destiny, and you alone have the ability to impact your own life, suddenly you can start working through the things that you want to change. You know, one of the complaints I see recently is about being poor, about not making enough money, about, you know, and of course the victim blames someone else. They blame the rich, they blame the wealthy. And so I really want you guys to stop, when you start thinking about the things in your life that aren't going well. Maybe you have bad relationships with friends. Maybe your friends make you angry. Okay, get new friends. There's 6 billion people on this planet. You know, there's 330 million people in this country. I'm sure you can make new friends. You know, and that's the other thing too, is like about negative and positive people. I mean, you have to understand that the victim mentality, victimization, you have to look at the people that you surround yourself with, because we tend to, we don't tend to seek out the people that we want to be. We tend to seek out the people who are like us. And so if you're negative and cynical, you tend to gravitate towards other negative and cynical people. If you're positive, you tend to gravitate towards more positive people. And if you're in that category of negativity and cynicism, you need to get yourself around people who are more positive. Because they think that saying, misery loves company. And there's a reason why. Because if you're around positive people, it tends to remind you of just how negative you really are. And people hate it, but they don't want to change. Some people like being angry. They like being miserable. I don't know why, but they do. Don't be one of those people, you know? So the bottom line is that if you're the kind of person where, man, you honestly feel like you just got no way out, you got to change your perspective, you got to change your attitude, you got to change your surroundings, and that includes the people that you spend time with. Get new friends, find positive people. We're all out there, we're everywhere. And I have my own fits of cynicism and negativity. I get down in the dumps. I mean, everybody does. But, you know, I have friends that thankfully are there to pick me up when I need it. And I try to do the same for them. It's just like I try to do the same for all of you out there who watch my channel. So that's it today, guys. I just want to say, stop the victim mentality and start with yourself. Start realizing that everything in life is because of you, but that you have the power to control everything in your life, as much or as little as you want. There's no like subscription costs or anything. You just have to make up your mind that you want to do it. You know, it's like, you know, some people out there, and I was in this same boat, where like, man, I want to ride a bike. go ride a bike. Man, I want to get in shape. Get in shape. Man, I want to earn more money. Go earn more money. Now, how you do that, of course, the details are going to be important. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take planning. It's going to take dedication. You know, it might even take a little bit of luck, but you understand my definition of luck is when preparation meets opportunity, that's luck, baby. You prepare, you prepare, you prepare, and then the opportunity strikes and boom, you jump on it. So, all right, we're going to cut it short. I'm stopping for fuel. You guys have a great weekend, and stay positive out there, guys, really. Oh, I hate red lights. All right, Flashwing out.